I'm Scott Melker, host of the Wolf of Wall Street's podcast, and Taking Stock starts now.
Welcome to Taking Stock. We are live here at Money20 in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, inside today and tomorrow, the center of fintech innovation. Today on the show, we got our good friend from Wall Street, Katy Perry of StockTwits. She'll be joining us right after the closing bell to give us her take on the broader take on the macro economy. We'll also be talking with several other high-profile guests, a one-on-one with the Solana Foundation, as well as the team from Checkout.com, all about the future of money that they are seeing. But of course, this is a show about stocks and a show about Wall Street, and we are on tap for yet another record-setting close for several of the major market indexes on this trading Tuesday. The S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and the NASDAQ Composite. The tail of the tape for those three indexes, another record close. In fact, the first time that the S&P 500 has ever closed above 6,900. That is what we are expecting for the tail of the tape today. The AI trade very much catching a bid. Most of the Mag 7 stocks up in positive territory, which sets the stage for incredible earnings reports from those mega cap companies, including Microsoft and Meta, Google, Apple, many more later on in the week. And of course, if all that weren't enough, we also got Fed Day tomorrow. We love Fed Day here on Wall Street. We'll hear what Jerome Powell and his colleagues have to say. As for the closing bell, the team from Advantis Investors, they are doing the honors to celebrate 5 years since their first fixed income listings at the New York Stock Exchange. Time now for the one, the only closing bell. And there you have it, the team from Advantis Advisors doing the honors on the trading floor of the New York Stock Exchange for yet another history-setting day across the major market indexes, the NASDAQ Composite, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, as well as the S&P 500 finishing not just in positive territory, in record-setting territory. The first ever close for the S&P above 6,900. Tech catching a bid, although the equal weight S&P was down for the day. Tells you how much of that heavy lifting the tech stocks have been doing. Real estate and utilities leading losses to the downside. Sherwin-Williams, Nvidia, Microsoft, the strongest performers in the Dow, with names like J&J, Nike, and 3M, the big laggards. I teased it at the top of the broadcast, the one, the only, our very good friend, Katy Perry of StockTwits joins us here live on the ground from Money20. Thank you for being here.
I mean, I got to get out of Vegas, JD. I've been here since Saturday.
It's a tough town to do too many days in.
Yes, it's time for me. But it's been an amazing conference. So much happening. I had to bring notes. And I hope you've been having a good time as well.
Of course, game recognized game on the notes when we're here from Money20. First and foremost, talk to me about the top themes. What are you seeing? You're moderating, you're booked and busy, you're doing interviews.
Yeah.
What are you seeing people talk about here in Vegas this week?
I think three key things. I've moderated a few panels. One, stable coins. So this is not a word consumers use. It's backbone, the invisible hand of so much of where money is moving. And so you've got news from Citi and Coinbase and WorldPay and Zero Hash, and I just had a panel with Cross-Border and their collaboration with Fireblocks. So that's something that we've seen really pick up since the Genius Act passed in July. The second is a lot of talk around next generation investors, which is something we love to talk about at StockTwits. I had a panel with NYSE, DriveWealth, and Public, talking about that $1.24 trillion wealth transfer, what that's going to look like. Third, not as sexy a topic as the others, but data as the real star of the AI show. And we had a neobank Current, I interviewed him, and he was talking about data structure and how integral that is to unlocking AI. So a lot of all over the place conversations. My brain's full, but it's been a great week so far.
I think maybe to most people, data is not a sexy topic, but to us here at Money20, it's a very sexy topic. We love talking about this stuff. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, big tech earnings palooza. This is the type of week we love. We'll hear from Microsoft. We'll hear from Meta. We got Google. Those reports after the bell tomorrow. Apple and some others after the close on Thursdays. What are you looking for? As these names go, so too go the broader markets with them.
There's some trends across a lot of them. I think the data center build-outs, the cost of those and the updates. The cloud for Microsoft, that's Azure, and for Amazon, that's their highest margin piece of the business, AWS, how that's going. Meta, the last two earnings calls, they've really been harping on this AI taking a bigger role in advertising. So creating the content, optimizing it. If you're at an ad agency or a brand, that's something to watch as well. And of course, Apple, I would love to know how the iPhone sells. How many people bought those orange phones?
Yeah, exactly. So far, the soft data on the release of Apple told us more demand than expected out of the U.S. and China. We saw a big pop in Apple shares a few weeks ago, reaching fresh all-time highs. I'm a little jealous because you'll be back in New York tomorrow for the big FOMC decision. I'll still be here on the ground in Vegas. In Jerome Powell we trust. We'll get the announcement at 2, the press conference at 2:30. Your expectations for the Fed chairman tomorrow?
I think the latest Polymarket odds are at about 98% of that, getting that cut. So I always, root for the crazy situation just for kicks, but I don't think we're going to get that. I'm curious to see if he's going to be sort of chill with his commentary. Does he have a little bit of senioritis, as we joked about on the show earlier this week? Or is he going to say something that could actually move the markets? Obviously, it'll be an exciting time, and a lot of people will be tuned into that.
On Polymarket, you could put odds on anything. You could truly bet if he's going to come out to the microphone and start with the words, "Good afternoon." That's an actual event contract on Polymarket.
This is the world we live in. Everything is Vegas.
Everything is Vegas. Yeah, you're not wrong. Well, I still have you talk to us a little bit more about Daily Rip Live, what you covered on the show today, and what people should know if they want to tune in and learn more.
Yeah, so Daily Rip Live, we're live 9 a.m. on Monday, Tuesday, actually every day of the week, except Friday. Today we had a really interesting perspective from two analysts from Europe, and it was fascinating to hear their view of the macro situation. We talked about the labor market, the role of AI. It was sort of a heady conversation, but you can watch that on StockTwitz's X if you're into that sort of thing.
We love the heady stuff, we love the wonky stuff, and we love having you on the show, as always. The great Katy Perry, good friend of ours here on the show. We'll see you back in New York. We'll do it again soon on the trading floor of the stock exchange.
All right, good luck out there.
Enjoy the rest of your time in Vegas. James will grab your microphone. Mad Boy, you and I are going to take a walk, and we don't have to walk very far, thankfully, because we're going to talk about a stock that you say, JD, you talk about this stock on the show a lot. How could you not? It's the team from Oracle. Shares are up 68% on the year. To Katie's point about AI spend, data center build out, shares are up fractionally. They are going nuts for the show right now, and they could not be more excited for what's going on. Oracle CEO Mike Sicilia noting strong AI demand, adding that demand surpasses supply. The CEO also dismissing talk of the so-called AI bubble. Shares up, like we mentioned, 68% from the start of the year. The average one-year price target of Oracle stock is at $3.50 a share. That suggests upside potential of 23%. Yesterday, here on the ground at Money 2020, I had the opportunity to sit down for an interview I was so excited about. Diego Scotti from PayPal and Venmo, as well as Ankur Jain. He's the founder and CEO at Built. They were here on the ground in Las Vegas, Nevada, to make a first-of-its-kind announcement to the participants at Money 2020. Take a look.
Joining us now for an interview here at Money 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada, Diego Scotti, General Manager of Consumer at PayPal, and Ankur Jain, Founder and CEO at Built. Gentlemen, welcome. Great to have you both.
Good to see you. Great to
And
be
right
here.
after a huge announcement here on the Money 2020 stage, let me lay out a few of these line items to make sure I got them right. Beginning next year, 2026, users can, number one, pay rent or mortgages directly through Venmo or the Built app.
Yep.
Number two, use their Venmo balance for those payments.
Correct.
And number three, get rewards with all of the neighborhood merchants already in the Built network. My key
People do listen to us.
Exactly.
They don't. We pay attention. My big questions first, how and why? So let's start with the why for either of you gentlemen that want to take this. Why is this the next iteration for this relationship?
I tell you, we are very focused on Venmo to create in-app commerce experiences, because what our customers are telling us is that they want to shop and do more things in the app. Not only paying friends and family, but also, for example, paying rent. When you look at the categories that our customers pay every month, rent, mortgage, number one. 85 million transactions on mortgages went on last year on Venmo only. So we thought that it was a natural partnership for these two brands to come together.
Yeah. And then talk to me about the how. How is this actually going to come together? What does this look like for the user experience?
This is the key. Everything about the way Venmo operates and Built operates is how do you make everything around your home and neighborhood seamless and rewarding. And now, from the moment you move into a new apartment building, you will instantly see your apartment balance in the Venmo app. You can pay with your Venmo, split it with your roommates, split the utilities, the rent, walk down the street, get your first dinner in the neighborhood, have your itemized receipts synced right back into your Venmo app, split that with your friends. Everything in the built neighborhood now is possible to pay with through Venmo. And for us to have that customer base have an even more seamless experience where you live and get rewarded, both with points and building your credit. I mean, think about it. You move into college, you move into your first college apartment, which is likely a built property. Now you can build your credit, earn rewards points, all by just paying with Venmo.
Is the rest of us on the outside of these deals? We see the headlines, we see the relationships, and we scratch our heads. We're saying, how does this all come together? Can you both take me back to the genesis of either how you two personally met or how you two firms recognized early on that this could really be something?
It's a great question because Anker's laughing this way. No, I don't know why he's not saying that. But no, but partnerships start with people. I'm glad that you mentioned that. And the first conversation that we had about this started as, wait a second. We have the same target audience, the same customer base. We have two incredible, powerful brands that customers love, that truly, truly love. And then when we talk about a vision around a product experience that is seamless, that is innovative, and that allows the customers to do all of that, we said, this is a natural evolution for us to keep talking and create this type of partnership. And I tell you, it wasn't only just because we like each other or because we thought...
It wasn't a big part of it, though. I mean,
You need
we did have fun. I need that part, yeah. But also because it's very complementary. So when Anker was talking about, well, now customers are going to be able to split the rent, for example, with their friends, that was something that is very core to the experience with Venmo. We said, well, that should be core to the experience that we create together.
I mean, look, everything new is old, right? And I think one of the things you see is, what are customers already doing? And we were seeing customers in Venmo paying their rent. We were seeing our built customers ask about Venmo. And the capabilities that we had around seamlessly integrating with your building, rewards, credit building, combined with the Venmo seamlessness of payments, together, then we said, wait a second, why are we creating friction between these two systems? Let's just bring it together. So again, you move in, it'll match your Venmo account automatically. I mean, that's the magic, right? There's no setting up a card or a bank account or pulling up a account number and routing number, all these complexities that you have to do today to move into an apartment building. Now you just move in, fill out your form, see your balance, open up your Venmo app and pay.
That's amazing. Diego, Anker, congratulations on the big event here in Vegas. Thanks a lot for sitting down with us, guys. It's good to see you. Thank you,
Thanks for having us.
Welcome back to the show, one and all. You're watching Taking Stock live from Money 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Time now to get you updated on the price action today for a few of the big major cryptos that, of course, we bring you on every broadcast. A fair bit of selling in the last hour for Bitcoin, Solana, as well as Ethereum, although Solana is now up more than 2% week to date, which sets the stage for an interview we'll bring you in just a moment. But first, we'll take an update here. We'll take a look at a great NYSE-listed company that went public back on June 5th, set to report their second quarterly earnings report in mid-November. That's, of course, the team from Circle. Shares of Circle stock were down on the day, but are up about 10% since the start of the month. Earnings November 12th. The stock has had an absolutely wild ride, but right now shares of CRCL still trading about 5% above its 50-day moving average. At this hour, we talked about Solana. Let's talk with a great representative from Solana Foundation, Shiraz Sher, GM of Payments at the Solana Foundation, joins us now here in Las Vegas. It's great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot for taking the time. Talk to me about the big news that you and the team from Solana Foundation shared with participants and event goers here at Money 2020.
Sure, yeah. Today, Western Union announced the launch of a stablecoin on Solana issued by Anchorage, which is super exciting. It's one of many big payment companies, fintechs, that are building the future of payments on Solana. So super exciting.
There is so much conversation. You can't go 30 seconds without hearing a stablecoin or a tokenization reference here at Money 2020. Understandably and rightfully so, I should point out. How do you see stablecoins in the payment space more broadly evolving on Solana?
It's a great question. On my flight here, the guy sitting beside me was on ChatGPT asking what a stablecoin was. That's when I knew, okay, it's happening. So as I mentioned, if you think about why stablecoins have found product market fit, right? It's an easier way to move money cross border. So great use case on blockchain rails, but we need the big institutions to start adopting this, and that's what you're seeing here at Money 2020. So Fiserv, for example, recently announced they're launching a stablecoin on Solana. PayPal launched several years ago. Visa in the past had said that they were going to launch their or move their issuer acquire settlement flows on Solana. So you're seeing a coalescence of these use cases for finance, payments, internet capital markets, as we like to say, all on Solana. The reason it's coming to Solana is that it's built for scale, right? Fast, cheap, and scalable, and that's really what the North Star of the Solana blockchain is.
And when you mention institutional adoption, of course, you're talking about the biggest institutional players in the fintech space. We got other institutions like lawmakers on Capitol Hill. They are finally taking this issue a lot more seriously. Tell me about the ways that the Genius Act, which passed earlier this summer, what does that do for the broader conversation from where you're positioned at Solana?
It has changed things in a step function way. So in the past, if we were talking to financial institutions, merchants, anybody about stablecoins, they were very interested, but it was always sort of sitting in an innovation shop, right? They're like, we'll experiment, it'll be in a sandbox, but we can't touch this because we don't know what the rules are around it. With the Genius Act, a clear set of rules, now everyone is starting to adopt what they already knew was a great technology, but now they have the clearance to build on it. So if you walk around Money20, as you said, this is a very different vibe than in years past as it relates to blockchain and stablecoins, just as the announcement today was one of many things that people are talking about.
And I'm sure you got many use cases to choose from. Talk to me about some of the actual real life, actual applicable use cases that you've seen that most excite you about where the underlying technology is.
Sure. So right now, I think the main use case or the biggest use case is cross-border money movement, right? So if you think about moving money from one market to another, it has to go through a complex set of correspondent banking hops, takes several days, costs money. With stable coins on Solana, it's sending funds is the same as sending an email, right? To anywhere in the world. You just need an address on the other side. And so because of that, cross-border remittance use cases, so P2P remittances, business to business, payout use cases, so people, engineers, contractors in LATAM getting paid out in stablecoins. And then once they have stablecoins in their apps, they can start to earn yield on it. And so you're starting to see neobanking-like experiences that are just very easy for any developer to build, right? The barriers to entry have been significantly removed.
Shiraz Shares, the GM of payments at Solana Foundation. Very grateful for your time. I hope you get at least a little bit of fun here in Vegas before you go home.
That'll be tonight.
That'll be tonight. Good man. Thanks a lot for being here on the broadcast. Great to have you. Folks, don't go anywhere. Much more Taking Stock is coming up after this quick break, live from Money 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Stick around. Welcome back to the show. You're watching Taking Stock. We are live here on the ground at Money 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada. On Sunday night, the night we land, was the highly anticipated Money Awards, which is so important here to Money 2020's ongoing programming. We got to catch up with two of the co-founders of Agree.com, Will Hubbard and Marty Ringline. They are the only group here at Money 2020 to win not one but two different awards, the Bronze Awards for the payments and the startups category. Take a look at this can't-miss interview.
Marty Ringline and Will Hubbard of Agree.com join us here. Thank you both for taking the time to chat with us. Great to have you guys.
No, thank you so much for having here. We're just
We're so honored to be here. So excited.
And you both are co-founders. Let me start first and foremost, a little bit high level. Give us an introduction to your work at Agree.com for anyone a bit unfamiliar.
Yeah, so Agree, it's like a DocuSign, but it's more modern and it integrates invoicing and payment. So the biggest thing is at the end of every signature, someone has to pay someone money. That's traditionally been disjointed. We bring it all together. And the biggest disruption is just monetizing on the money movement side and allowing us to leverage giving away e-signature and invoicing away for free.
Really, I think you guys are the only ones here. I mean, you've got two different categories you guys are taking home hardware for. Does that mean to be so successful in both the payments as well as the startup side of it?
Oh man, it's just so special because if you look at all the companies here, there's just like a ton of amazing companies here, and to win not just one but two, it's an incredible feeling.
Absolutely. Marty, talk to me about some of the broader challenges, kind of those headwinds that you and the company have faced in the broader fintech space, and ultimately what has given you confidence you guys can really be an outlier away from the competition.
So the magic is that we extract all the contents out of a contract, and specifically payments data. Who pays who, net 45, net 60. That seemingly is easy in the age of AI, but very valuable, that data in the age of AI. But extracting it and then making it so that those contracts are editable, that's been very hard. Getting the formatting done. Everyone does contracting differently. So that's been one of the biggest sort of headwinds that we've had to get past, is how do we perfect the extraction of not just payment data, but like formatting data out of a contract and then returning that back so that we have this great ecosystem.
Yeah, I'm glad Marty that he mentioned AI. I wouldn't be doing my job at Money20 if I didn't ask something about it. But talk to me more about the ways that Agree.com is leveraging AI and other newly emerging technologies that seem to get us introduced to the marketplace by the day.
Sure, yeah. So we don't position ourselves as an AI company, but AI is in everything that we do. You know, I think it's just like building good product in 2025. You have to have AI at the core. And so like Marty said, we use AI to extract all the payment terms from every single contract that's uploaded to automatically generate invoices just to help people get paid faster and on time.
Yeah, Marty, I'm sure, hopefully you guys are celebrating here a little bit with this amazing hardware, but give me some sense about what 2026 looks like for the company.
For us, we're only a year old, so that's why this is even more special for us. So 2026, growth and scale, like any startup, but going international, expanding up market, just grow, grow, grow. More users, more invoices, more payments.
So one thing that we just announced at this conference, we're calling agentic revenue recovery. So we use AI agents to basically help people get paid on time if an invoice is overdue. So we automatically follow up in a personalized and contextualized way that's representative of what's in the actual contract that started the agreement in the first place. And we're just seeing incredible adoption of this already.
That's awesome. I mean, it's an incredibly exciting time for all these underlying technologies, and you guys clearly at the forefront. Will, Marty, congratulations to you both.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the well-earned hardware. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it, too.
Oh. Welcome back to the show. You're watching Taking Stock live from Money 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada. And joining me now here on the ground from this great event, Rory O'Neill. He is the Chief Marketing Officer at Checkout.com. My man, thank you for being here.
You're very welcome. Nice to be here.
It is great to have you. We got you only the best, most elaborate, beautiful backdrop possible for the interview. Very grateful for your time. Talk to me about all the key drivers that have been really forcing forward the momentum for Checkout.com this last year.
Yeah, well, look, Checkout is 100% focused on global digital payments, powering payments for some of the world's biggest digital brands. So eBay, Uber that we announced yesterday, and we are 100% focused on solving that problem to make sure those great brands can participate in the digital economy.
Do I have this right? A 30% revenue surge that the company has seen? Talk to me about those underlying numbers.
Well, we're on track to be 30% year-on-year revenue growth in 2025. We'll be full-year profitable in 2025. We're processing over 300 billion of e-commerce volume around the world in 2025. So yeah, it's great growth, and much of that growth is actually coming here in the US.
Rory, what have been the biggest challenges, but also maybe the biggest opportunities to working in the e-commerce space that you all have been doing such a great job in?
Well, look, I think the first thing is you have to re-establish trust. And right at the corner of global commerce is trust. And if you think about the movements we made when we went from in-person payments to digital payments, we had to replicate that trust. So now we're going to see another huge move in our industry where agents start to buy on our behalf. That's a great new channel for many merchants, but we're going to have to work right the way across the ecosystem to put more trust back in the system.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversations here at the ground of Money 2020 about the role of AI, emerging technologies, agentic AI for the future. What are you seeing in terms of the themes that are being most commonly discussed here in Las Vegas that apply specifically to Checkout.com?
Yeah, look, I think there's a whole host of players in the space on agentic. And look, there's a couple of things that are really true. Like, there's not going to be one agentic commerce solution for every merchant everywhere around the world. Just like in e-com, people are going to need their own strategies to optimize that new channel. And what is interesting, I mean, our founder was on stage yesterday with eBay and Uber, and they're thinking through the business strategies of how they deal with agentic commerce. And one thing that's really true is that AI agents are going to make sure that information is democratized so we all get to purchase on a better equilibrium than we did in traditional e-commerce.
What do you feel most sets Checkout.com apart from a crowded space of a lot of competitors? They're all trying to leverage a lot of the same technologies you are, but I'm sure you're confident in where the company is today and your outlook for guidance on where the company will be tomorrow.
Yeah, look, it's the focus on digital payments in enterprise, right? That's what really sets Checkout apart. There are great companies in this space. We are 100% focused on the digital payments for enterprise, which means every R&D dollar, every AI optimization, every machine learning, every data scientist is all anchored at trying to solve and maximize the payment performance of digital payments, and that's what sets us apart. So many of the merchants that we work with around the world are actually tapping into that and tapping into that expertise.
Yeah, and I'll be up on the main stage here at Money 2020 later for a comparable conversation about the future of shopping in the age of AI and agentic. And I wonder, from where you're positioned, what does agentic commerce, that phrase, specifically mean to you? I'm getting the sense it maybe means a little bit of a different thing for each person I talk to.
It's interesting. Look, I mean, we've got research that's about to come out. I mean, 57% of US consumers are happy to use agentic. Most of them are able to spend or set a threshold of about $223. There is more AI-educated buyers in the US than there probably is at any other part of the world right now. So agentic commerce is a new channel for merchants. And actually what we're trying to do at Checkout is to work with as many partners as we can, software players, LLM vendors, Visa, MasterCard, Google, Microsoft, and many more, to make sure that we're tapping into that ecosystem that provides an agentic commerce solution for merchants to figure out.
For sure. Rory O'Neill, Chief Marketing Officer at Checkout.com. My man, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your time in Vegas. Great to have you. Folks, tomorrow we will be live here on the ground from Money 2020. Once again, Fed announcement at 2 o'clock, Jerome Powell's press conference at 2:30. No shortage of earnings on tap. We get Verizon, Boeing, and CVS before the open, and after the bell, these mega cap names we know and love, Meta, Microsoft, Google, and Chipotle, all expected to report. That's going to do it for Taking Stock, and we will see you tomorrow from Vegas.